holographic projection sprang to life, casting an eerie glow around the dimly lit room. Kirill, an amiable alien xenobiologist from the Galactic Cooperation, studied the shifting images with keen interest. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence, a habit he had developed when deep in thought. The images showed the dense Amazon rainforest, where reports of strange, invasive species had been escalating. This was his mission, to investigate and contain the threat. Upon arrival in Brazil, Kirill met Dr. Alex Marcello, an environmental scientist renowned for his work in the Amazon. Alex, tall and rugged, greeted Kirill with a firm handshake and a curious glance at his alien companion's unique physiology. Kirill's skin, a smooth, iridescent green, shimmered under the rainforest canopy, contrasting sharply with Alex's sunburnt, human skin. "Welcome to the Amazon, Kirill," Alex said, adjusting his hat. "We've got a lot of ground to cover." Kirill nodded, his antennae twitching in anticipation. "I'm eager to get started, Dr. Marcello. The reports are concerning." As they ventured into the forest, the dense foliage closed in around them, creating a cocoon of green. The air was thick with humidity, and the sounds of wildlife provided a constant soundtrack. Kirill's advanced equipment beeped and whirred as he scanned the environment, searching for any signs of the invasive species. "Tell me more about these creatures," Kirill requested, his voice modulated to match human speech patterns. Alex led the way through a narrow path. "We've noticed several new species that don't fit any known classifications. They seem to be spreading rapidly, displacing native species and altering the ecosystem. It's unlike anything we've seen before." Kirill's curiosity deepened. He bent down to examine a patch of unusual plants with bioluminescent leaves. "Fascinating. These organisms have complex structures not native to Earth. We must identify their origin quickly." Hours turned into days as Kirill and Alex delved deeper into the heart of the rainforest. They catalogued various new species, each more perplexing than the last. Kirill's scanners picked up faint traces of extraterrestrial DNA, confirming their suspicions. These creatures were not from Earth. "Look at this," Alex called out one afternoon, pointing to a cluster of odd-looking insects swarming over a decaying log. "I've never seen anything like them. They're devouring the wood at an alarming rate." Kirill approached, his equipment buzzing. "These insects are a new species entirely. Their genetic makeup suggests they are part of a larger ecosystem, one that is foreign to this planet." As they documented the insects, a sudden movement caught Kirill's eye. A small, reptilian creature darted across the forest floor, its scales shimmering with an unnatural hue. Kirill swiftly captured it in a containment field, examining it closely. "This creature's DNA is intertwined with the invasive plants and insects we've seen," Kirill noted. "They're all interconnected, part of a single invasive network." Alex frowned. "But how did they get here? And why are they spreading so fast?" Kirill's antennae twitched thoughtfully. "We need to find the source. These organisms are too coordinated to have arrived by accident. There's a purpose behind this invasion." Their search led them to a secluded part of the rainforest, where the trees grew taller and the underbrush thicker. They stumbled upon an ancient, overgrown structure, partially hidden by vines and foliage. It looked like a landing site, long abandoned but still emitting faint energy readings. "This must be it," Alex said, awe in his voice. "An alien vessel?" Kirill's eyes widened as he scanned the structure. "Yes, but it's been here for a long time. The organisms we're seeing are its legacy. This vessel brought them here." Inside the derelict vessel, Kirill and Alex found evidence of the alien species' origins. Data logs, partially intact, revealed that the ship had crash-landed centuries ago, its containment fields failing over time and allowing the organisms to escape and adapt to Earth's environment. "We need to shut this down," Kirill said urgently. "If these organisms continue to spread, they could devastate the entire Amazon and beyond." Armed with this new knowledge, Kirill and Alex devised a plan. Kirill used his advanced alien technology to create a containment field around the vessel, while Alex coordinated with local authorities to manage the affected areas. It was a race against time, as the invasive species continued to spread. After days of intense work, they finally managed to contain the threat. The alien organisms were neutralized, and the Amazon's natural balance began to restore itself. Kirill and Alex stood by the vessel, exhausted but triumphant. "We did it," Alex said, a smile breaking through his weary expression. "The rainforest is safe for now." Kirill nodded, his own form of a smile appearing. "This experience has shown us the importance of vigilance. We must remain alert to protect this world from future threats." Their mission was complete, but the bond they had formed through their collaboration remained strong. As they left the rainforest, Kirill couldn't help but feel a deep respect for his human partner. They had faced an extraordinary challenge together, and in doing so, had forged a new path for interspecies cooperation. And so, with the immediate threat neutralized, Kirill and Alex prepared for their next steps, knowing that the rainforest, with its unique biodiversity, would always need guardians ready to defend it from both terrestrial and extraterrestrial dangers. The air was thick with humidity as Kirill and Alex ventured deeper into the Amazon rainforest, their senses heightened by the unfamiliar environment. The invasive species they had discovered were unlike anything they had encountered before, and the urgency of their mission weighed heavily on them. As they trekked through the dense foliage, Kirill's equipment beeped, signaling the presence of another unknown organism. "Over here," Alex called, pointing to a patch of ground where strange, iridescent fungi were growing. They pulsated with a faint, otherworldly glow, casting an eerie light on the surrounding vegetation. Kirill knelt beside the fungi, his antennae twitching in curiosity. "These spores are extraterrestrial," he confirmed, his voice tinged with concern. "Their rapid spread is disrupting the local ecosystem. We need to find the source." As they continued their exploration, they stumbled upon more evidence of the invasive species. Odd-looking insects with translucent wings and bioluminescent markings flitted through the air, while plants with unusually vibrant colors and intricate patterns spread across the forest floor. Each new discovery added to the growing puzzle. "We're not just dealing with isolated incidents," Alex remarked, his brow furrowed in thought. "These organisms are part of a coordinated invasion." Kirill approved. "We must locate the origin of these species. There's a pattern to their spread, and it's leading us somewhere." Their journey took them to a secluded part of the forest, where the trees grew taller and the underbrush thicker. The air was heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying vegetation. It was here that they found what they had been searching for, a cluster of alien organisms, thriving in an unnatural harmony. "This is it," Kirill said, his voice barely above a whisper. "The heart of the invasion." Alex examined the scene with a mixture of awe and dread. The organisms were intertwined, creating a complex web of life that was both beautiful and terrifying. "How do we stop this?" Kirill activated his communication device, contacting the Galactic Union for guidance. "We've found the source. I'm requesting immediate support." As they waited for a response, Kirill and Alex set to work, documenting the various species and their interactions. Kirill's knowledge of xenobiology and Alex's expertise in environmental science proved to be a powerful combination. Together, they devised a plan to contain the spread of the invasive organisms. "The key is to disrupt their reproductive cycle," Kirill explained. "If we can prevent them from spreading further, we can neutralize the threat." Using a combination of Kirill's advanced technology and Alex's understanding of the local ecosystem, they implemented their plan. They introduced natural predators to target the invasive species, and used Kirill's containment fields to isolate key areas. Days turned into nights as they worked tirelessly, their progress slow but steady. The forest was alive with activity, the sounds of wildlife mingling with the hum of Kirill's equipment. They encountered numerous challenges, but their determination never wavered. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they began to see results. The spread of the invasive species slowed, and the balance of the ecosystem started to restore itself. Kirill and Alex shared a moment of relief, their hard work paying off. "We're making progress," Alex said, a weary smile on his face. "But we need to stay vigilant," Kirill agreed. "The threat is far from over. We must ensure that these organisms do not return." Their mission was far from complete, but they had taken a crucial step in safeguarding the Amazon. As they packed up their equipment and prepared to move to the next location, Kirill couldn't help but feel a sense of camaraderie with his human partner. They had faced an extraordinary challenge together, and in doing so, had forged a new path for interspecies collaboration. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the rainforest, Kirill and Alex stood side by side, ready for whatever lay ahead. The journey was arduous, but their resolve was unwavering. They would protect the Amazon and its unique biodiversity, no matter the cost. With a renewed sense of purpose, they set off into the forest, knowing that their work was far from over. The oppressive heat of the Amazon rainforest bore down on Kirill and Alex as they pressed forward. Each step they took brought them closer to uncovering the full extent of the alien invasion. Kirill's keen eyes scanned the foliage, his senses attuned to any sign of the extraterrestrial threat. "Look at this," Alex said, crouching beside a peculiar plant. Its leaves were iridescent, shifting colors in a hypnotic pattern. "These weren't here yesterday." Kirill examined the plant, his expression growing more serious. "These organisms are adapting quickly. We need to act fast." As they ventured deeper, the forest seemed to close in around them. The usual sounds of wildlife were replaced by an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves. They stumbled upon a clearing where the ground was carpeted with alien flora. The scene was both mesmerizing and unsettling. "We're getting closer," Kirill said, his voice steady despite the unease in the air. "This must be the heart of their spread." Alex agreed. "We need to find a way to stop this. If these species continue to spread, the entire ecosystem will be destroyed." Kirill activated a small device on his wrist, and a holographic map of the area projected before them. He pointed to a glowing red spot. "This is the epicenter. If we can neutralize it, we can contain the invasion." They moved cautiously, every sense on high alert. The alien organisms seemed to pulse with a life of their own, an intricate web of interconnected beings. It was clear that this was not just a random infestation, it was a calculated invasion. As they approached the epicenter, they found a strange, metallic structure partially buried in the ground. It hummed with an unsettling energy, and tendrils of alien flora clung to it, feeding off its power. "This must be their conduit," Kirill said, inspecting the structure. "It's emitting a frequency that's encouraging the growth of these organisms." Alex frowned, considering their options. "Can we shut it down?" Kirill nodded. "I can disrupt the signal, but it will take time. We need to protect this area while I work." Alex set up a perimeter, using Kirill's advanced technology to create a barrier. It wouldn't hold forever, but it would buy them enough time. As Kirill began his work, Alex kept a vigilant watch, his senses heightened by the gravity of their task. Minutes turned into hours as Kirill painstakingly worked to disable the alien device. The forest around them seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, as if the organisms sensed their impending doom. Alex could feel the pressure mounting, but he refused to let it distract him. Finally, Kirill let out a sigh of relief. "I've done it! The signal is neutralized." Almost immediately, the alien flora began to wither, their lifelines severed. The forest seemed to breathe a collective sigh of relief as the invasive species started to retreat. Kirill and Alex watched as the natural order slowly began to reassert itself. "We did it," Alex said, a weary smile spreading across his face. "We actually did it," Kirill approved. "This is just the beginning. We need to monitor the area and ensure that the invasion doesn't resume." As they packed up their equipment, a sense of accomplishment washed over them. They had faced an extraordinary challenge and emerged victorious, but they knew their work was far from over. The Amazon rainforest, with its unparalleled biodiversity, remained vulnerable. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the forest, Kirill and Alex made their way back to their base. Their journey had been arduous, but their resolve was stronger than ever. Together, they would protect this precious ecosystem from any threat, terrestrial or otherwise. With renewed purpose, they continued their mission, knowing that the safety of the Amazon depended on their vigilance. The future was uncertain, but Kirill and Alex were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Rain poured down in sheets as Kirill and Alex huddled under the scant cover of a giant tree. The Amazon rainforest was unforgiving, but they couldn't afford to let the weather deter them. The alien threat was still out there, lurking, evolving. They had to stay vigilant. "We can't stay here much longer," Alex said, brushing water off his face. "We need to keep moving." Kirill scanned the area, his eyes sharp and focused. "Agreed. The rain might be working to our advantage, though. It could mask our presence." As they moved, they kept their steps light, avoiding patches of dense undergrowth where alien organisms could be hiding. The forest felt alive with an unsettling energy, as if it were holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. After a few hours, they reached a small clearing where a strange glow illuminated the area. In the center stood another one of the alien structures, taller and more intricate than the last one they had encountered. Tendrils of bioluminescent vines wrapped around it, pulsing with a rhythm that suggested a sinister intelligence. "This is bigger than we thought," Kirill muttered, eyes narrowing. "They're building more of these devices." Alex looked around, the weight of their mission pressing down on him. "We need to find a way to destroy this one, too. But it's more complex. It could take longer to dismantle." Kirill nodded, already analyzing the structure. "I'll need to get closer to understand its mechanisms. Keep watch." As Kirill approached the device, Alex positioned himself at the edge of the clearing, weapon ready. The rain continued to fall, creating a steady drumming sound that almost drowned out the hum of the alien structure. Kirill examined the device, his fingers deftly manipulating a set of tools. The structure was unlike anything he had seen before, its alien technology both beautiful and terrifying in its complexity. He worked quickly, knowing that time was not on their side. Suddenly, a rustling in the undergrowth caught Alex's attention. He turned, weapon raised, scanning the forest for any sign of movement. The rain and darkness made it difficult to see, but his instincts told him something was out there. "Kirill, we're not alone," Alex warned, his voice low. Kirill didn't look up from his work. "I need a few more minutes. Hold them off." Alex's grip tightened on his weapon as the undergrowth parted and a group of alien creatures emerged. They were smaller than the ones they had encountered before, but their movements were swift and coordinated. Their eyes glowed with a predatory intelligence. Alex fired a warning shot, hoping to scare them off, but they advanced with unwavering determination. He took aim and fired again, this time hitting one of the creatures. It let out a screech and fell, but the others pressed on, undeterred. The battle was fierce, and Alex fought with every ounce of his strength and skill. He knew he had to buy Kirill time, no matter the cost. Each shot found its mark, but the creatures kept coming, their numbers seemingly endless. Kirill's hands moved with precision and speed as he worked to dismantle the device. He could hear the sounds of the struggle behind him, but he forced himself to stay focused. One wrong move could mean the difference between success and failure. Finally, with a triumphant click, Kirill deactivated the device. The alien structure shuddered and went dark, the bioluminescent vines losing their glow. Kirill turned just in time to see Alex take down the last of the creatures, breathing heavily but victorious. "We did it," Kirill said, helping Alex to his feet. Alex wiped the sweat and rain from his brow, nodding. "That was too close. We need to figure out where these things are coming from and put a stop to it." Kirill agreed. "This is just the beginning. We need to find their source and neutralize it once and for all." They gathered their equipment and set off once more, their resolve hardened by the encounter. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but they knew they couldn't rest until the alien threat was eradicated. As they moved deeper into the rainforest, the storm began to subside, leaving behind a sense of eerie calm. Kirill and Alex knew they were heading into the heart of the invasion, and the true battle was yet to come.